Cleveland Mayor Frank Jackson has plenty on his plate with the Republican National Convention coming to Cleveland in just a few short months and a proposed income tax increase. But those weren't the only topics he discussed at his 11th State of the City address. He also talked about CMSD, the progress the district is making, and why education is the key to the city's success.
Everything Cleveland has been successful at as a city is because we have done it as a community, an entire community, and we've done it with a winning attitude, that we can do this. The greatest example of that is the Cleveland School Reform Plan. Republicans, Democrats, labor, business, district, charter schools, the philanthropic community, everybody came together to create real school reform. But it was the public, the citizens of Cleveland, who closed the deal by supporting and passing a levy, an operating levy in 2012, and a capital levy in 2014. Now, this operating levy is up for renewal and will test our resolve to have true reform and test whether or not we are truly committed. This is also a vote of confidence as to whether or not our school district is moving in the right direction.
The mayor continued by pointing out successes like the Pre-for-CLE initiative and an improved graduation rate, and a big achievement that is difficult to measure: attitude.
An intangible indicator of the school system moving in the right direction is the positive attitude of its teachers, its staff, the parents, and the students. They believe that we can and that we will be successful.
But as the head of the only mayor-controlled district in Ohio, he admitted there is still work to be done and told the audience at Public Auditorium that November's vote on extending the CMSD operating levy will show how determined voters are to have real education reform.
Now, education is the key to our success. It's key. A city that provides quality education for its children will retain and grow population, maintain and attract new businesses, and position itself for the future.
And the future looks bright, with students like Julian Huff representing CMSD in front of almost 1,000 community members during the question and answer portion.
I'm a sophomore at New Tech East, and my question to you is, what did you learn in high school that has made you so successful to this day?
I didn't do too well in high school. I didn't do too well. Let me just point out something to you. I would have went to East Tech if I'd have stayed in my neighborhood school, but I wound up going to Max Hayes because I wound up taking a trade. I was a machinist. But I graduated in the bottom third of the bottom third. So I didn't do that well. And so after I left, I'm going to get to the point, long about answer, but I'm going to get to the point. So after I left school, I was almost 20 years old, about 19 and a half. I had failed so many times. And so I was so old that they drafted me into the Army. And I had to go down there and tell them that, hey, look, I'm still in high school, so they let me go. But within 6 months, within 4 months after I graduated in June and October, I was in the Army. So I did my time in the Army, did my tour duties wherever they sent me, came back, ran around in the streets for a while. Then maybe when I was about 26 or 27 years old, I went to community college. And I had to take remedial courses. I could read and write and do math and stuff like that, but I couldn't do it at a level that would allow me to pass a college course. I learned how to read the books, I learned how to interpret them, I learned how to write paper, I did all that stuff. Then I wound up with the associates, bachelor's, master's in law, right? Now, why am I telling you this? Why am I telling you this? I'm giving you that long story because what I learned in high school age helped me immensely to overcome challenges in the street. It immensely allowed me to understand the academic side and how it pertained to me as a young black man in an urban center. So you have two opportunities for education, and don't deny either one of them. Get the academic side, do well, learn how to study, learn how to interpret, but never forget who you are and where you come from, because that will be the best education you'll have. It will allow you to overcome things, and the academic and formal side will become a tool for you that you can apply it in a way that's to your benefit and who you care and who you love. Okay?
After the event, I spoke with both the student and the mayor about their conversation. The 15-year-old told me he was very nervous at first, but he appreciated the mayor's honest answer.
I look up to him. I want to be a mayor one day, actually, if I have the chance to. So I wanted to know what he had to go through to get to this part of his life. Actually, I learned a lot. I learned that I should never give up. Whether I'm stuck in a bad hole or not, I can just climb out of it.
He asked me a direct question. I gave him a direct answer. He has an opportunity to make change. He has to be ready for that opportunity.
The audience enjoyed Mayor Jackson's frank response and gave him a standing ovation at the end of his address.
We will become a light on the hill, a great city. And people will say, let us go to Cleveland to see how it's done. Thank you very much.
I thought the highlight of his speech was education. I was pleasantly surprised at his response to that young person, how he self-acknowledged he wasn't the best student in high school. And through life lessons, he was able to endure, come back, graduate from high school, go on to community college, get his master's degree and his law degree. But it was those life lessons he learned. And not only are we educating young people's minds, but we need to educate their hearts and their soul. And you can obviously see that the mayor is really true to his community, and I was really impressed with that response.
Many people seemed impressed. The event was hosted by the City Club, and the secretary of the board of directors said it might have been the first mid-forum standing ovation in City Club history when the audience stood to applaud before the Q&A began. For more stories like this, visit clevelandmetroschools.org/news. Reporting from the CMSD TV studio, I'm Shannon Kantner.